Welcome to Ordinary People Doing Extraordinary Things, the podcast show. I am your host, Carrie Roberts, and today's episode is in partnership with Senior Care Services of Greater Princeton, located in New Jersey. And today we have another extraordinary guest as part of our series in hopes to entertain, inspire you, and maybe give you some mindset tools that you can use to age gracefully in place and live an extraordinary life. For those that don't know, Senior Care Services of Greater Princeton is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that engages volunteers to assist homebound seniors to age gracefully in place and to preserve their independence by providing things like transportation, food shopping, and friendly visits. And I also want to thank our sponsors for this particular episode: Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Fox and Roach Realtors, Donna Murray, Pinky Shaw Mortgage Team at Fairway, Walsh Senior Solutions, and Kathy and Mike Castellano. We thank you and appreciate you so much. And now joining me today is former NFL athlete and entrepreneur, Fred Baxter. Welcome, Fred.
Good evening. How are you doing, Carrie?
I am good. I am so excited you are here. You live in New Jersey, but you are originally from Alabama. And before we kind of get into your whole football and NFL days, I want to know, when you were a young man, who was the person that influenced you to have an interest in football from the very beginning?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say thank you for this platform and being here, being able to share a little bit about my life. As you mentioned, I grew up in Alabama. All of my coaches, because I was raised in a single family home. My mother, she's my backbone and my inspiration. But being I had a absence of a man in the home, all of my coaches, starting from Pop Warner all the way through my professional career, my coaches was very inspirational in who I am today. You know, God bless his soul. My absolute first coach, Mr. Charlie Harris, he passed away not too long ago, but he's the one introduced me to football. And I had a lot of anger, you know, just because all of my friends that I was raised with, you know, they had both parents in the home, and I had my mother just provided for 3 children. And, you know, he just stepped in and just gave me a safe haven. You know, I grew up, I really didn't like football. You know, I was a baseball player, but, you know, football, it kept me out of trouble because, you know, single parent, you know, parent out working, I'm at home alone. You know, a lot of things can happen, you know, with a teenager at home by itself. So football just gave me a safe haven, and I was very thankful for that. And, you know, just looking at the way my mother, you know, got up every morning, going to work and providing, you know, that work ethic, you know, I just used that, and I, you know, took the football field, you know, the basketball court or the baseball field. You know, I took that same approach that she took every day, providing for her children, and I tried to make the best of it, you know, to make her proud. And I still try to do that today.
I love that. You know, they always say it takes a village to raise children. And especially when you don't have a second parent in the home, like you said, it is of value to have other people around you. And it's so great to hear that coaches had such a big influence on you. And it was interesting because as I was reading a little bit more about you, you know, the way you've kind of been described, the way you describe yourself as somebody who's very focused, someone who's very adaptable. And throughout your career, you've always been that way. Can you talk a little bit about, you know, kind of the beginning, kind of that journey into the NFL and how that ability to stay focused, accountable, and working hard helped you to get into this higher level initially?
Well, it was instilled in me at an early age. You know, my mother, you know, even though that we had a broken home, you know, she instilled in us the church. You know, church was my foundation. You know, learn how to get up and speak, learn the process and protocol. You know, learn how to be obedient and accountable. You know, those followed me through all my career. You know, and as I continue to develop as a young man, you know, I earned a scholarship to go to college for free. You know, I didn't know how I was going to go to college, but my coaches, they pushed and pushed, and my teammates, you know, I played on the team in Alabama, you know, Pike County High School in Brundage, Alabama. You know, we had a lot of great athletes. You know, I probably sit about 15 on the depth chart if you look at the talent wise, but I had to work just that hard just to get the notoriety and the opportunity to stake my claim of being a part of the team. You know, I didn't want to let my teammates down, and that comes from what I learned as a kid, watching my parents, you know, and listening to my coaches. And as my talent continued to develop, you know, my college coach, God bless his soul, Coach Pat Dye, you know, he saw something in me that I didn't see. You know, he pushed me, and then, you know, it comes to a point where we had this sit down like he do with all his players. He said, man, if you apply yourself here at Auburn University, you have an opportunity to take care of your family for the rest of their lives. And I took that, you know what I'm saying? I took that to heart. And then I showed by going out, being accountable, going to class, being responsible on and off the field, and being a leader. And then, you know, just being very fortunate, because, you know, the NFL, very few have the opportunity to do that, you know, and being very fortunate and taking advantage of all the opportunities. I thank God for that opportunity. You know, someone saw something in me that I didn't see, you know, and all I had to do was just show up and be ready when my number is called. And I thank God for that. And then now, as I continue to develop my talents in the NFL, you know, I was very fortunate to have some great coaches, a lot of Hall of Fame coaches. You know, Coach Bill Parcells, first, let me go back. Bruce Coslett, my first coach, you know, he's a former tight end. He saw something and drafted me because I had a misfortune in my college career. I broke my ankle. I didn't know if I was going to get drafted or not, you know, but, you know, the last person to have the word and the first person is the God Almighty. You know, he blessed me. He gave me the opportunity. I took full advantage of it. And as I continue to develop, you know, Coach Bill Belichick, he saw something in me because I was out of a job in 2002. You know, he called me up. One of the tight ends got hurt. By me staying ready, because I haven't gave up the game in my heart, you know, I was in shape and I was ready. I played one game, and then the following year, they kept me on as a backup tight end, and we went to the Super Bowl, you know, and won the Super Bowl. So I've been very fortunate throughout my career, had a lot of favor from up above, and I took advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah, I think that's great. And, you know, as you had mentioned, so you played with the Jets for 8 of the 10 years you were in the NFL, then for Chicago, and then, as you mentioned, New England, and winning the Super Bowl in 2003. But you said regardless of the records, each season was the same for you. What do you mean by that?
Well, I had to make the team every year. You know, my spot on the team wasn't in concrete. You know, as you know, you get a guy that's drafted in the first round or one of the marquee, the stars, they say, on the team, you know, they have to just show up. You know what I'm saying? They have to participate, but they know their job is secure. But me being a low draft choice, every year I had to make the team. And that wasn't a negative strike against me. They're just the business. But through my work ethic and me knowing what type of person I am and the drive that I had, and then coming from the SEC, you know, I wasn't going to let anyone take my job. I wanted to be a part of the team. So I never forget this. Coach Bill Parcells, he came to the Jets in 1997. He told me, if you want to be on my team, you need to find a role and get good at it. And that's what I did. You know, I found a role on the team that nobody wanted to do, and I got good at it. You know, and that's how I sustained for those 12 years I played in the NFL.
You know, it's so funny because when people like yourself say that in such a nonchalant way, you know, you kind of overpass just how important that is and the determination it takes to do that. Because a lot of times athletes, sometimes if they're at a high level, might say, well, no, this is the position I play. This is what I should be doing. And you're saying, no, whatever you need me to do, I will adjust. And you played multiple roles. How did you kind of get your mindset around that? Was there ever a point where you felt frustrated to do that? Or were you just like, nope, I'm just going to do what I can. I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to work hard and make it happen.
I wanted to be a part of the team, you know, and coming from Alabama, you know, in the place that I grew up, I was the first to be able to play in the NFL, you know, and after that, there came a lot of more guys that were very fortunate to play in the NFL. So it was the determination in my mindset. You know, I didn't feel like I was a low draft choice. It's just the opportunity that I was picked. I felt like I was a first round draft choice. But with my attitude and my work ethic, because of how I was raised, how I was introduced to football, I was always on a winning team from Pop Warner all the way up until the NFL. So I know what winning felt like, and I know how to work. I know how the team, come together. I knew all of the integral parts that makes up a great team. And then I know that somebody, you got to have a star, but everybody stars when you win. So you just find a role on the team and get good at it. I was a long snapper. Anything that I can do to show value to the team, I did it. I run down on kickoff. I punt, whatever the coach wanted me to do. I just jump in there. I make them pull me out rather than come looking for a person to do something. Even if it's on the show team defense, I get over there and do whatever I got to do to help the team win because I was part of the winning team all my life.
I mean, I feel like more people should think that way personally and professionally. It is about the team. It's not just about one individual. Even though you said, each season you were on a team felt the same in some capacity. When you won the Super Bowl on that team, did that feel different? And how so, would you say?
Oh, yeah, it felt different. It felt different. It was way different, because going back to my Jets days, I was on a team that was 1-15. 1-16.
Yeah.
So I've been on the good side of it, and I've been also on the bad side of it. But at the same time, the camaraderie and the relationship on all of my teams, it took precedence over any wins or losses. And those guys that on that 1-15 team, we are still friends today. That's something that we talk about in our memories. That Lord have mercy, man, we was on a horrible team. But then now, some of those guys that was on that team were very fortunate to be on the Super Bowl team.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another story. And playing in the Super Bowl, man, that is one of the highlights of my career. That's what all NFL players dream of when they get drafted or have the opportunity through free agency to play in the NFL, to win the Super Bowl. All the Pro Bowls and Hall of Fame, yeah, that's great. That's outstanding. But everybody played to get that chip. That Super Bowl ring on that finger. That's what they played for. And I was very thankful.
I see. Well, where is it now? So when you get this ring, is this something that you wear all the time? Do you put it in a box? Where do you put it? Or what do you do with it to make sure that you are, I don't know, cherishing it, that you enjoy it? Where is it now? What do you do with it?
Well, it's safe. It's in a safe space, But I don't wear it all the time. It's just when I go, especially when I go in the community and talk with kids and work with youth, or work with seniors or work in the church. It's a great little conversation, an icebreaker, if I may say. Like I go talk with 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th graders, and the teacher said, "Oh, they're Riley, come on." And as soon as I take that Super Bowl ring out, everybody be quiet. Nobody say nothing. And they said, "What in the world is you doing?" Then I show them the Super Bowl ring, and they be quiet. Even the teachers be quiet. So I use it as a gift from God. I don't cherish it. I thank God for it. I know the significance of it, but at the same time, I just share it. In the mindset of that you can do anything that you want to do. And if you put your mind to it, you're a champion at heart at all times. Because my best friend, Bobby Hamilton, I'll never forget it. In 2001, I had the opportunity to be on the first Super Bowl team, but I went to Chicago for more money. But then the second time it came around, me and my best friend, Bobby Hamilton, we was in Atlanta, Georgia, and he let me try his Super Bowl ring on. He said, "Next year, you're going to get you one of these." And lo and behold, went back to the Super Bowl, and I got me one. And I was very, very thankful for that opportunity. And I would never, never, never get rid of it.
Yeah, I congratulate you. I mean, that is such a big feat. And, a lot of times you'll hear athletes, I think a lot of times in football, but I would say other athletes, you'll see them either thank God or they thank themselves. It's one or the other generally. You tend to be someone who is more of your faith. But do you feel like it's a combination? Do you look at yourself and say, I've succeeded in the things I have because of that combination of both?
Well, it's through His grace and mercy that I accomplish those things, and I'll never forget who gave me that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? It's never about me.
Mm-hmm.
It's never about me. You know what I'm saying? Whatever we're doing is about what we're trying to accomplish. And then I just take that into the atmosphere with prayer, you know, and then He lead me. You know, I never trusted. I have super faith. You know, I never doubted. You know, sometimes it don't come when I want, but it's always on time. So I never lose that focus. You know, I don't never make it about me. It's never about me. It's all about what we're trying to do in the mindset and what we're trying to accomplish.
Yes, I agree. It's interesting because you have such a strength about you, but such a calmness at the same time, which kind of makes sense in how you're describing your career here a little bit. I'm curious, just your perspective. You know, you were on different teams. Like you said, you had a team where you were on kind of the losing team for a while, then you go to a Super Bowl team. What do you think is the difference for a team that makes the Super Bowl? Is it the mix of players, the coaches? Is it luck? Why does one team get it versus the other, do you think?
You know, the detail and the accountability. You know, one mindset, not worrying about what the quarterback doing, what the other guys doing, just worrying about your position. And then now it's just like you're trying to create this gumbo. You know, you want to put this piece of the piece in the pot and making sure that you are putting the right ingredients together and making sure when that ingredient is in there, it is the right one. You know, depending upon, I said it, depending upon a play. You know, we don't run the same play and the same person do the same thing. You got to make sure when your number called, you are ready. You have to be ready when your number is called. I remember Belichick, he said, man, we got 47 guys that's dressing up. You might play one play or you might play all the plays. Every play is important in order for us to win. And that's what I do, you know. Yeah, I don't have to catch the ball all the time. I block. But if Curtis Martin or if Antoine Smith, you know, if they score a touchdown, you know, I score a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if he have a bad day and I have a good day, I had a bad day. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a team. We got one heartbeat, and I care for my teammates. You know, I on and off the field, we actually have a brotherhood that generally care. I know about their families. They know about my family. We break bread together. We cry together. We bleed together. You know what I'm saying? We hurt together. You know, everything is important. That's a part of a championship team. You know, everybody is held accountable for their actions and making sure when you step on the field, you're ready. You're ready to go. I know everything about my opponent, and my players is counting on me to be where I need to be at all times. And that's the Super Bowl.
Yes, I like that. One heartbeat. Very well said. I mean, you have a very clear understanding of your purpose and your faith. Did you find that at any point on any of the teams that you were on, even before the NFL, where people didn't have that and you had to kind of lead your teammates into this idea of being a team, into a better mindset? And if you did, how did you kind of coach people in that space if they couldn't get there themselves initially?
By example, I wasn't a rah-rah guy. You know what I'm saying? I just made sure that what was asked of me, I practiced what I preached. And I practiced how I play. By example, you know, you have some guys that, you know, rah-rah, they have to get up and do all the yelling and screaming and all that. And that, you know, in some places we call that false challenge. You know what I'm saying? And then he go off the field and do something crazy, you know. But the teams that tends to do and be successful every year, everybody is held accountable, and you lead by example. You know, I might not play a play, or I might not even dress out, but I'm going to practice like I'm playing. You know, because I never know when my number is going to be called, and I want to be ready. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if we gave out awards for practicing, I probably got an award every day. You know what I'm saying?
It sounds like it, yeah.
Yeah. Because that's how I took it. That's it. Bill Parcells, God bless him, he changed my mindset when he came to the New York Jets because he told me I need to find a role on his team if I wanted to be on his team and get good at it. And then I got good at it. And I got so good that he gave me an extension on my contract when he told me he was going to cut me the day before. You know what I'm saying? So that was an eye opener for me, because my first 3 years, I was cruising. Guy come from Alabama making a little money, never had no money in the pocket before, in the big city of New York. I'm doing this. Oh yeah, we good. Just came off a 1-15 season. And he came in, man, and completely turned everything around. And I had a lot of great mentors: Art Monk, Ronnie Lott, Boomer Sison, all my teammates, man, Kyle Brady, Anthony Beck, Johnny Mitchell, Johnny Johnson. We had a lot of great guys, man, that were doing a lot of great things. And I just wanted to help them, because I was blocking. Some of these guys I named, they drafted those guys to take my position. But at the end of the day, I was helping them to get on the team, to help them with their plays or help them learn how to be a professional. I didn't take it personally. I wasn't just like getting in there and trying to alienate myself from the team. No, man, I'm going to be on this team. I don't know what I'm going to be doing, but I'm going to play something, So that was my attitude. That's always been my attitude. It's always been we go back to my years in high school. We were the first team to win a state championship at my high school. Then I go to college. I was part of a great teams in college. Got drafted by the Jets. That was a dream come true. And then I took full advantage of it. I love sports, and once I was told sports can change my life, and I was given the confirmation because all of the players before me that went to Auburn University, Bo Jackson and all these, Frank Thomas and Laurie Tillman, all these guys, that James Joseph, Craig Overtree and Quentin Riggins. These guys, man, were guys that took me up on their wings when I was a little pup, when I was a freshman, showed me the ropes, how college life is. And then I tried to be like them. I didn't want to let them down. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I was in college, I had Laurie Tillman number 85, and this guy here, man, he was like the kid that catch me off at Auburn. So then now I'm coming out here, I got his jersey on, so I got to do him proud and me proud. You know what I'm saying? So it was double pressure. And I didn't want to let him down. I got his blessing to wear his jersey, and I just tried to just make him proud. I played both sports, 2 sports, and I played football and baseball at all. And I was very happy about that.
I think it's great. I think everyone listening and watching, if they haven't heard you speak before, just your passion for what you do, your mindset, your just, in a sense, practicability too, saying, hey, I want to be a part of this team. I'm going to do what I have to do. And that you did that from a young age all the way through. One of the things that I've having interviewed athletes, professional athletes, whether it was collegiate, professional, or Olympic, one of the things that tends to happen is they've identified themselves as an athlete for so long that when their time is done, usually because their body just can't take it anymore, or they've had injuries, there's kind of this feeling of like, who am I? What do I do next? Now you have various ventures you're a part of and businesses you own and nonprofits you work with. But did you have that feeling? And how did you kind of transition from, okay, this is what I do every day, I'm an athlete, to now I have to be something else?
Well, I went through that process too. I was down in my basement for about 6 months, man, wondering, man, going crazy, going through a whole depressed little mode. And my wife, the best thing that ever happened to me, once she found out I hadn't finished my degree, that's the first thing she got on me, just like my mother would do. You go get your degree. I don't care. You're gonna get your butt out of this basement, and you're going to get your degree. I was, short like 2 classes. Because when I came out of college, I had broken my ankle. So I had tried to devote that little time to trying to heal up, and I couldn't do both, because I had to do a lot of training and a lot of rehab. And I had left school to do that. And, again, just favor. And then my wife, when she found out I didn't have my degree, I went back to Auburn, got my degree, and then it seemed like everything just opened up for me. It's just like the whole professional and this is what's next. So let's do this. Now you got your degree. A lot of doors opened up for me. And then I just started again. And I never lost faith. I always trust, in the Lord, and the rest is history.
Well, it is. Sometimes it's that one little thing, and it is, having that support system. So wonderful to have your wife there to say, okay,
Mm-hmm.
that little push, you're almost there. And like you said, once you kind of accomplish that thing, it allows for other opportunities. And one of them is, which is right behind you, is Plush Vodka, which is one of your companies. You work with organizations and nonprofits, as I mentioned. Can you kind of talk about what it's been like to now kind of transition into this kind of entrepreneurial role, as well as kind of nonprofit organization and things that you help with? Can you kind of talk about that transition a little bit?
Well, the nonprofit, I always, as I said, that's from the teaching and, observing my mother, my parents, we always, care for others. We try, we didn't have much, but at the same time, the good Lord always answer our prayers, and we put faith in that. And in order to receive this, you got to help somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we're raised. My mother, man, she's amazing. She'll feed everybody. It didn't matter what type of person, what it didn't see no color. If you was hungry or needed something, even if you wasn't hungry, she gonna come out and drop something off for you anyway. Because that's what she do. And I took that to heart. And my sister, she passed away in 2009, and she had a love for kids. You know what I'm saying? She worked in daycare back in Alabama. So I had got my degree from Auburn in education. So I kind of, picked up the ball when she passed away and try to make her proud and continue her legacy, and give to those that's less fortunate, help those or give some kind words to those that feel us, in kind of funk or any kind of look down or encouragement, and just try to just to be the absolute best person. Because when I was growing up, somebody saw something in me that I didn't see and help me along the way. And to play it forward, I just go back and do the same. I don't care where I am at. I don't care who I see. The spirit that the Lord has gave me, it gives me the opportunity to help someone. You probably don't feel like you need help, but the spirit has got me in this place for a reason. So I just go with it and see what we can do to help someone or encourage someone. Because in the return, I'm gonna get back tenfold. That was what promised to me if I be obedient and do what He's saying. So and that's what I do. I find all kinds of stuff that I can get involved with that can help people or encourage people or to love people. I love everyone. My wife, she said, "Man, you talk." Yeah, I mean, that's just me. I'm an extrovert, so I love people. So once I found out I was an extrovert, yeah, man, I was even crazy with it.
I can relate to that. We were talking before we got on this interview. You were telling me again about your mom and how she is in Alabama, and she actually works with Senior Care Services. I didn't realize how global it is. The one sponsoring and working with us today is the one in Princeton, New Jersey. But you had said that she goes as a volunteer and she helps those age in place gracefully, like you said, whether it's talking to them, bringing them food, spending time. And that was kind of like your kind of initial interaction with this organization. Can you talk about, the value of community service and why it's important to be a part of it, why it's important to have those things in our local community?
I mean, I feel like it's part of life. You know what I'm saying? That's part of all of our calling. That the good Lord give us so many talents. He give us so many opportunities to share His goodness. And why not go in the community and do it? That's what the people are. I can be stuck in my house, comfortable, or where I am in my space, and that's it. Make my little money here and there. Get whatever come in and just keep it for myself. But what fun is that? What kind of joy I'm gonna get out of that? So I try to, and my wife, she's the same way. But I think she's an introvert, but still she has beautiful qualities that she loves people. And I think we just work so awesome together and try to bring joy to those that's less fortunate. Even just the appearance and the touch. Or just the being around. Or whatever it may be. I don't put a limit to it. I don't put a person to it. I just put the calling to it to see what the Lord is having in store for me. The growth, it helped me grow. You know, it'd be amazing, man. You sit around the seniors and all the wisdom they have, and you know, all of the opportunities and experiences they have. They probably can save me a lot of steps. You know what I'm saying? From learning from them, you know, as my life progressed, you know, and I can probably live very happy ever after, you know. But that's not what the good Lord has called us to do. And I'm going to serve him until I leave here.
I like that. You know, I always say that I like to spend time with older adults or children because both of them really live a lot in the present moment. And it reminds those of us kind of in that middle age group to not stress as much, to be more aware, to relax, to have fun. And you work with a lot of kids and you do a lot of stuff with the Alumni Association, with the NFL. You work with kids kind of in sports. Can you talk about what it's like working with kids, especially because that's kind of how you started when you were young? You know, what impact you like to make, you know, what do you enjoy working with them, and kind of what age group do you tend to work with as well?
Hey man, I love the game of golf now. So all of my teaching and all of my, when you talk about playing it forward, it is centered around golf. And I am a coach or youth leader for the First Tee program of Greater Philadelphia. And I coach 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th graders. And I tell this story when my mother-in-law in 2015, she was diagnosed with cancer. And I was coaching college golf at Whiteman University. Thank God for them. They gave me a tremendous opportunity. Great school. We're talking about academics. Great school. And I was coaching golf there. And I stopped because my wife, she needed help with my mother-in-law because we became the caregiver when she went through the transition into, you know, heaven. And she passed away in 2016. And I prayed, what can I do now that I'm not coaching? And now I got a lot of time now because my mother-in-law passed. And it came to me 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th graders. And that's why I've been since 2016 working with the First Tee program in Greater Philadelphia. And also I started in Trenton working with the First Tee program. And watching those kids develop, some of them develop to the point where they get scholarship to go to college. That is the greatest feeling ever. It's not an amount of money anybody can give me to see a kid that I mentor from 5th, 6th, 7th grade on to college, and they go to college for free. It's just like I went there too, you know what I'm saying? It's unbelievable. And that's what God has called me to do. It's called to put kids in the right situation like someone did me, career pathway them, and give them the opportunity to be the very best person they can be. That's what I do.
I love how it comes full circle. I think that is so great. And for them to have you not only understand from a professional level, but just you were their age, you had the same things maybe that happened. You're just such a resource for them. And I think that's such an amazing thing for those kids. I wanted to have a couple questions I had asked before. A couple people had said, you know, I can't make the call, but I had questions for you. So Kenneth Scott, he actually played, both of these men played football for a little while. He said, what is the biggest lesson that you've learned through the gridiron that helped you through your toughest moments, not only in sports, but in life?
Great question. The right mindset, having the right mindset, understanding what it is that you want to accomplish, and making sure that you do everything in your power to get the right education, to get the right response from what it is you're trying to do, and making sure that you're accountable in doing it. It's the follow through, making sure that you follow your blessing, making sure you follow your calling, making sure you follow the opportunity that is afforded to you, taking full advantage of it, you know, and Have fun while you're doing it.
Yes.
We can win the Super Bowl and I have a nasty attitude. I would feel like I wasn't even part of it when I was right there in the midst of it. You gotta have the right attitude when you go about anything that you do in life and making sure that you are in it. Not halfway. Not like as Coach Parcells says, stick your toe in the water. You got to get in there. You know what I'm saying? Get into it and making sure that you take care of your business.
Yes, that is a fabulous answer. I have one other one from David Friedman. His question to you is, what is the legacy you want to leave the world with?
I'm an advocate for men's health, and especially when you're talking about in the African American community, we don't want to go to the doctor and get checked. We need to stop that because we are losing too many of our fathers and brothers and uncles because we have this little macho attitude that we don't want to go to the doctor and get checked. By not doing that, you're putting more stress on your families. You're not going to get checked because then now somebody got to take care of you if God forbid if something happens. So that's one of my legacies that I want to do. And also, I just want to leave a legacy for my kids where they'll have something to look up to and look for, whether they don't have to worry about, okay, this and it might not be something that you are called to do, but you have something to fall back on or have something that's yours forever. And that's what I want to do. Football, man, that don't last. It's one thing, one play away, you're gone. The career is over with. But I want to leave something that's sustainable and also give them the opportunity to be the very best person they can be.
So well said. If people want to connect with the organization that you were talking about the alumni with the NFL, if they want to learn more, if they want to donate, if they want to volunteer, I know that's kind of the one area you wanted to push a little bit. Where is the website or the social media that they could learn more about that?
Well, the website, www.nflalumniphiladelphia.org, and, you have my information. They can have my information. Some people, I don't worry about that. I love people. I'm a people person. If I can do anything to help them, I'm gonna help them. And the only way I can help them, they gotta have some good information. You know what I'm saying? You have an email address. You can share my email address and my phone number. If anyone have any question, they can reach out to me, and I'll be more than happy to do whatever I can to help.
Well, we appreciate that. The last question I like to ask all of my guests, Fred, is what is one word or quote or mantra that you try to live by every single day?
Faith, family, and faith. That's my mantra for 2000. That was my mantra for 2020. When 2020 came, faith, family, and faith. Now, my mantra when I was playing football was faith, football, and football.
So why is faith twice and family in the middle? Like why that order?
Because he's the first and the last. Yeah. And my family is everything.
So good.
So and then my faith, my family, with the faith we are covered. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I don't have to worry about nothing else. I don't worry about nothing. 2006, I gave everything I had to God. So he told me I don't have to worry about nothing. And I don't. I just help people. And I try to be the best husband I can be, the best father I can be, the best brother I can be, and the best son I can be, and the best friend I can be.
Mm-hmm.
I can't, help everybody, and I can't please everybody.
That's true.
But I just try to please the man up above, and that's it, and I can let everything else fall in line.
It's perfect. Well, I thank you so much, Fred. This was fabulous. So thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
I just want to thank again our Senior Care Services of Greater Princeton located in New Jersey, as well as the sponsors of this episode, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Fox and Roach Realtors, Donna Murray, Pinky Shaw Mortgage Team at Fairway, Walsh Senior Solutions, and Kathy and Mike Castellano. We hope you'll join us for our next interview in this series with Senior Care, which will be in April with the mayor of Princeton. So we'll be hearing from him as well. And if you want to learn more about Senior Care Services of Greater Princeton, if you want to volunteer, you want to help out, you want to donate, you want to sponsor, anything that you want to do to be a part of that, you can go to their website, seniorcareservicesgp.org. And if you want to listen to more episodes of this show, it is also in podcast audio form. It's called Ordinary People Doing Extraordinary Things, and you can listen to it on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your podcasts. I want to thank you all so much for watching and listening and being a part of today's episode. And we hope that it inspired you to live an extraordinary life and age gracefully in place.